it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Wake up full of purpose, fully blessed. Lights, camera, action, it's my time now. Gotta find peace somewhere, about to go crazy, lose my mind and my hair. I'm just out here living my life. Haters, can you leave me alone? I know you feel some kind of way. You like the way my melanin glow. I'm just out here living my life. You love it and I already know. Soaking up the sun in LA. You like the way my melanin glow. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. It's a good day. You gotta find peace today. Get out your own way. Mind over matter, matter of fact, you gotta treasure what's inside of you. I'm just out here living my life. Haters, can you leave me alone? I know you feel some kind of way. You like the way my melanin glow. I'm just out here living my life. You love it and I already know. Soaking up the sun in LA. You like the way my melanin glow. Lights, camera, action, it's my time now. Gotta push through the pain, feeling some doubt. See the sun shining bright in my face. Wondering how did I get to this place? Trials over here, few blessings over there. I don't know how much more I can bear. Every day may not be a good day. Guaranteed there's a good in every day. I'm just out here living my life. Haters, can you leave me alone? I know you feel some kind of way. You like the way my melanin glow. I'm just out here living my life. You love it and I already know. Soaking up the sun in LA. You like the way my melanin glow. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Wake up full of purpose, fully blessed. Lights, camera, action, it's my time now. Gotta find peace somewhere, about to go crazy, lose my mind and my hair. I'm just out here living my life. Haters, can you leave me alone? You feel some kind of way. You like the way my melanin glow. I'm just out here living my life. You love it and I already know. Soaking up the sun in LA. You like the way my melanin glow. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. Stretch your stuff, walk it out, do a little twist, gonna do it right now. Cause it's your day, it's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day. It's a good day. You gotta find peace today. Get out your own way. Mind over matter, matter of fact, you gotta treasure what's inside of you. I'm just out here living my life. Haters, can you leave me alone? I know you feel some kind of way. You like the way my melanin glow. I'm just out here living my life. You love it and I already know. Soaking up the sun in LA. You like the way my melanin glow. Lights, camera, action, it's my time now. Gotta push through the pain, feeling some doubt, see the sun.
Hey everybody, it's me Stella D, and I also have a special guest. We have Super Molecular here today. Hey.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi.
So today he's going to code with me, and you can code with me as well. All you need to do is type in the chat !coding, and it will automatically send a link of the website that we are using because we're using HackerRank today. So yesterday I was doing a little easy / intermediate type of coding. However, today we're kind of rolling it back a little bit. Rolling it back, starting from scratch, from the bottom, from the beginning with Python, so that, you can learn a little bit about it too, and then Super Molecular is going to help me out with that as well. So, if you're interested, in the chat, which I will type it for you as well. Let's see if it'll do it. There you go. So, you can click on that link. It will take you over here to HackerRank. It is free. You can create an account by connecting it to Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, or just your email and a password, and you're good to go. And there's other languages outside of Python. There's JavaScript, there's Java, there's C#, there's C+, there's some statistics in here. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Good times. Other than that, for those of you who are in the chat, where are you watching from? Let me know. Are you watching from Twitch? Are you watching from Facebook? Where else am I on? YouTube? Preferably Twitch. I would like for you to be watching from. Let me know, because I am on the path to affiliate. We are literally almost there. So everybody who is watching in the chat today, your viewership and participation is highly appreciated.
Yeah.
Are you excited to Twitch? Okay, we got STL Future 37 watching from Twitch. I see you. What about everybody else? Everybody's coming in. We're getting some viewers in. And hopefully you can learn a little something today. Or not, I don't know. We'll see. What's up? It's Turquoise Drake's bedroom on Twitch.
You gonna learn today?
Gonna learn today. Alright, y'all. So let's move on over to our little coding area here. Alright, so as you can see up here in the corner there, I do have a countdown timer. That way I'm not taking up too much of your time, but we're counting down from an hour. If you can stick around for an hour, I'd highly appreciate it. And the good thing about Twitch is that the little video, you can have it on your screen and you can still be on Facebook or do something else. So we can hang out. Let's see. So today we're doing Python again because that's what I'm learning to code in. And Super Molecular has decided to come over to the dark side and try it out too. So, yeah. For everyone, we're going to try, if you're in HackerRank and you're looking at Python, we're going to start the simple thing that everybody learns when you're first starting to code, and that's to say hello world. So we're just going to do that. Is that good? Is that good, Super Molecular?
Oh, I dig it. I need to start from there.
All right. This is where we're going to start. So if you're in HackerRank, make sure that you change your theme to Python 3 and not Python 2, because we're not on that anymore. Let me know if the font is large enough for you to view it in the chat here. If I need to blow it up, which it kind of looks like I do. There we go. Make it a little bigger for everybody so we can see. Alright, cool thing about Python. Over here on the left it says, here's a simple line of code that can be executed in Python. So basically it's just print, and then inside of print you put what you want to print out. So basically all you need is the print, which is the function, and you have your parentheses and your colons. Now the cool thing about Python is that you can either do a double quotation mark or you can do a single quotation mark. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
I like to use single quotation marks because it looks nicer, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna type in hello world or hello comma space world exclamation point. So anything that's inside of these quotation marks is considered a string. And a string is a type of data type, which means that you're using like words for the most part. So a string is anything with like letters and words. Why they call it a string, I don't remember. But basically, and the cool thing about a lot of editors is that things pop up in different colors, so you know like what's what. So anything that's kind of like a little function thingy here, it's going to be a certain color, which this is red, and your strings are green. The reason why is, let's say you forgot to put a quotation mark or something like that, then that means it's going to include this parentheses because it's assuming that it's a part of your string. So you want to make sure that your text or whatever you're doing is wrapped in parentheses. So what I like to do is just run the code first. And then it says, congratulations, you ran it. Yay.
Hello,
what about
world.
you? Hello, world. Every programming language that you're going to learn, like the first line of code they're probably going to have you do is the print out hello world. I don't know why. It's just
It's
a thing.
your first program. Yeah.
First
It's your
program.
first program.
There we go. So I submitted the code, and it looks like it was a success. We said, hello world. If you're in the chat, type hello world in the chat. Type it in there for me, so everybody can say hello to the world today. Almost drowned myself with this water. Alright, let's see. Okay, so let's exit the full screen. Let's try something a little.
Question,
Yeah, go ahead. What's your question?
So when it says that second bit on the instructions,
Oh, let me go back
where
to
it
it.
says you can just as easily store a string as a variable and then
Print the variable.
print it out.
Yeah, let's try that.
Would that be something that's like you would want to do normally? Or is that kind of just like another example of how you could get, because I know with like the one language I was playing around with, which was JavaScript, like you pretty much always want to declare like your variable, like regardless of the situation, because you have to like store that data in that little thing and you have to call back to it and things like that.
The cool thing about Python is that you really don't have to do all that. It depends on how like complicated your program is or what exactly that you're doing.
Okay.
Like if you were more so doing like a loop or something where you're like looping through text or you're wanting to repeat things, then yeah, you want to store that information in a variable so that way you can just keep calling or printing the variable versus typing out the entire string. But depending on, like, let's say it's a message that you're printing out at the end, like the program is like, oh, you completed blah blah blah, and then you don't necessarily have to store that in a variable. You can just put that in there as the print message. So it just depends. But yeah, it is better practice, instead of having a whole bunch of strings, to actually store the string in a variable. The only thing with Python is that you don't have to declare what the variable is.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Like over here where it says my string equals hello world. I don't know about JavaScript, but I know for sure in Java you would have to declare that as a string.
Copy.
First.
Yeah. Okay.
But Python already recognizes that it's a string because it's magic.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I'm on it.
It already knows when something's an integer or if something's a float or if something's a what else is there? String, float, integer, character maybe. Boolean, yeah. Yeah, it already knows about that too.
Okay. Cool.
You-
All right. Yeah. If you want to show that other example, otherwise let's move on because that makes total sense to me. I'm like, all right.
Gotcha. Oh, no problem. We
Cool.
can move on real quick, which we're moving
Beautiful.
along pretty fast.
Let's
Let's see.
spice it up. Let's spice it up.
So what I spice it. I'm gonna jump to the arithmetic operators instead of the if else because I feel like doing conditionals is a little. They say it's easy, but I don't know who said that was easy. But do you see the one that says our arithmetic operators or whatever?
Yep, 100%.
Okay. All right. Let's check that one out. And let me make sure that this is on full screen. Okay. So this one says, excuse me, the provided code stub reads two integers, a and b, and the first line contains the sum of the two numbers. The second line contains the difference of the two numbers, and the third line contains the product of the two numbers. So here is the code that they have. They pretty much have the variable a and the variable b, and what they're doing, they're allowing you to input the information. So as the user, it's asking you what are you wanting to put in there. Now the difference is with this, when you have like input methods, you 9 times out of 10 want to identify like what it's going to be. So this has int in front of it because it wants you to enter in an integer. So if you enter in a string, it's not going to take that data type, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not sure what JavaScript does, but basically it's just saying there's a variable a and a variable b, and we want both of them to be numbers. And let me see if they had any constraints on here. I guess the number has to be greater than or equal to 1 and less than and equal to the 10 to the 10th power, which is, yep.
That's a big number.
I was like, and that's, yep. So all it's asking here really is for you to just add the variables together. You don't necessarily have to do anything special and just print them out. So if you do a plus b, that's one thing. So I guess that's what it was asking us for the first thing. Was the first line is the sum of the two numbers, so that's addition. The second line is just the difference. Oh, that's nice, but print. The difference of the two numbers, and it looks like a minus b because it said the first and the second. Okay. And then the last line contains the product of the two numbers. So just what, multiplication? So simple as it seems here. It looks like they just want us to do this. Do you know of a different way you might do that? In like JavaScript per se?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's been a hot minute since I've done it. So, but I would have to look it up again, to be completely honest with you. I think it's pretty much the same thing though.
The same thing.
I think with like JavaScript, you can just do like, you declare your variables, so like a equals like 1, b equals 2, 3 equals c, let's say, or whatever. And then you would do console log a plus b,
Gotcha.
if I'm not mistaken, or console.log.
Okay.
I think that's how you do it. It's been a hot minute. So I apologize to the chat if I am grossly incorrect on that. And call it out.
Good.
If you know that stuff, then let me know.
I don't. I don't know what the input method is for JavaScript, but I'm assuming it's pretty much the same thing. So when I ran the code, it came out to whatever they wanted, which is this 516. And the reason why I did it 3 different printouts so that they can be on 3 different lines because they wanted
Yep, yep,
3
yep.
different lines. If
Still,
you
if you
wanted,
wanted to
mhm.
do it all in one line, you would just do horizontally.
If you were just doing it all in one line, then you would literally put everything together. Let me see if it'll let me do all of them in one line
I see what you're doing. Yeah,
and
okay.
separate them
Yep, yep,
by
yep.
a comma. Let me see if it'll let me
Hmm.
do it. Let me comment this out. And the comment out in Python is just a hashtag or # for the old folks. Let me see. Did it throw an error? It did. It
Did.
did. Oh no,
That's
it
okay
didn't.
though.
It did. It didn't do
Yeah,
it.
it's probably
The output is what it's supposed to be. It's just wrong because it's the wrong answer, but it didn't throw an error.
exactly. No, yeah, yeah. But that's how you do it all in one
That's how
line.
you do it
Okay.
all horizontal. Now let me
Cool.
see if, because there's a method called end, like a print method. I wonder if you put this in here, would it space them out or not? Or not. Let's see. Probably won't, but I'm just playing around with it.
Yeah. This would be like a neat little.
No, it doesn't do it. I guess it has to
Okay.
be in parentheses and do it for each or something.
Copy.
But it's
Yeah.
like something that makes like a new line for each.
Okay, so it's kind of like a break in like HTML or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
So let me put this back so I can submit this again and mosey
Which
on.
also, if anyone wants to learn coding, this would be break HTML. So like,
Oh, the
I think
break, the
that's
breaks
it.
breaks.
I think
Yeah.
that's it. Well, one I think is XHTML that I put in there, but
Because
yeah, yeah.
sometimes,
That's how
depending
like
on,
you would drop down a line.
gotcha. With Python, I believe you can do like an escape method or escape character or something like that by putting like a slash in front of it, I think. But then,
Okay.
I don't know. Alright, looks like that's what it was. So we got that one right.
Cool. So print A plus B, print
Mm-hmm.
A minus B, and then print
Print
A tiny.
8.
That's cool.
Right. And then if you were wanting to do division, then
It
in
would
Python,
be
you go print a double slash, double forward slash, or some stuff.
oh, interesting. Okay, so it's not just the divides. Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Right on.
that's if you're doing an integer. If you're wanting it to look like a float with a decimal, then you go one of them, one forward slash, which I think, oop, that's not what I want. What is broken pipe error? Where did that come from?
We're getting too mathematical for this little bit.
Right.
That's funny.
It's watch the bear. There we go. So if you're wanting to do a float, which is like a decimal amount,
Mm.
then you do one slash. If you're wanting it to be
Ah,
just a whole number, you do the double slash. If you're wanting to
yeah.
do like the remainder,
It would
so
be percentage?
yes, the module.
Okay. Okay.
So it'll be
I think that's
whatever
the same. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is left over. Yeah, so it'll be, I guess 1 is left over if you divide, I don't know, these numbers.
Whatever the Sam Hill we just divided.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay.
So let's see if we can find another one.
Awesome.
What did we do? We did Hello World, we did arithmetic operators. We can try Division, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let me make it bigger. Oh, I think it's kind of like what we just talked about. So,
Oh, really? Nice.
yeah, it said pretty much it's a code here. It's A and B, and the first line should contain the result of an integer division, which is the double forward slashes, and then the second one is float division, which is a single slash. So we kind of did that already, but it's a different problem. But yeah, that pretty much kind of is the difference between now. I know I guess in Java, it's just a one slash, but you're already like declaring the variable anyway, so you already know it's a float
Yeah.
or an integer.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
But in Python, you really don't know until you know. But you can also manipulate it to what you want it to be. So that's fun. Wait, what did it ask for the first one? It wants the actual integer? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Because they were about to be like, nope, you don't follow directions. Like, don't beat me. Okay, yeah. So the first one would be 1, and then the second one would be the decimal situation. Cool.
Okay. That's nifty, because that is different, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's one thing that I noticed that was a little different. What do we have next? I guess we can try. I don't know. What does this loop one look like? Because I know one of these was like, what are we asking?
That is one.
Alright, let's see what they want. Loops. The provided code reads an integer in, okay, for all non-negative integers that are less than print the element squared. Hey, what's up? Oh, thanks for raiding my channel. Appreciate you, Dandy Andy. How's it going? And hey, everybody who came in. Let's see. It's my first raid. Oh, it's very informative. Thank you, Joe. I just hope I'm not like boring anyone. You can code now. Woo! Joe can code, y'all.
Bang it out, man. This stuff will pay you dividends if you keep up with it, I think.
Shout out to Dandy. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Shout out.
Oh yeah, shout out to Dandy Andy. He like streams cool stuff. So like it's exciting that it's like the first raid here. I've never like been able to raid anyone, and I've never been raided before, so it's just exciting. But what were you saying? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I'm like, that's cool, Joe, that you're doing it as well. Like, it's this skill set will pay you dividends potentially financially, but it will also allow you to like, do things in the digital space that you didn't know you could do before. So I think it's like ridiculously valuable.
Absolutely.
Especially like going forward into the future. So bang it out, dude.
Absolutely. Let's see. So we have Let's see what it's asking here. So providing the code. So we have the input, and it's saying that it wants us to list non-negative integers that are less than 3. Is that print the square of each on a separate line. Okay. So it sounds like we got to do a loop, but there's like so many different. Well, there's different loops. There's a for loop and then there's a while loop. So
Yeah.
while loops is when you do something and then you want it to keep going until you throw in like a break.
Exactly. Okay.
And then a for loop is when you're just iterating through a list or something that's mutable or immutable and printing it out. So it sounds like we need to do a for loop for this, because a
Exactly.
while
That
loop
makes sense.
might keep going. So
Yeah,
the way
and
you
then our
kind of do,
computers will crash.
yeah, and then we were
Or
like,
our browsers will crash.
and we'd be like, code's over, guys.
Yeah.
So
Good game.
good time, y'all, good time. So it's saying for I, which I is just the elements within the loop, which it could be named anything. You could name it numbers, chicken, bananas, whatever. But it seems like
Okay,
best
so I could put
practice. Yeah,
for Nick or for Super or whatever,
yeah,
and then go on with the code. Okay, so you can name it.
exactly.
Okay, so it's kind of like declaring a variable in a weird way.
In a sense,
Okay,
yes.
okay,
Excuse me.
but it's for something. Okay,
Correct. So let me see.
okay.
So for the elements in range of, let me see, the range function. Let me check and see. I believe it's start, stop. Let me look. Let's look it up. The syntax is start, stop, step. So that means within the parentheses, the one that's required is the stop. So you always want to have like the place that you want to stop in. So you can do a for loop and only have like one number or object in there. But if you're wanting to go from this to this and then stop, then that's when you actually have to have all three parameters in there. So it looks like for this, we want to have a range of what? It has to be greater than 1 and
Yep.
less than or
Less
equal to 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's one. I hope I'm doing it right. That's the input. And 20. The thing about ranges is that you want to do it the number outside of the number that you want it to be. So even though it says it's between 1 and 20, you usually do like 1 and 21 because of a reason that I don't remember, sorry. But I feel like, let me see. Want to become famous by followers? Who are you, Frederick? Why is Frederick trying to sell followers in my chat? Frederick?
Call me now for your free reading, man.
Call me now. What? The integer number. Stop. I feel like that might have to be. We'll see. I feel like this needs to be I instead of N, but I'm going to put in there for craps and giggles right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, moderator Takoa, for deleting that troll. I appreciate you. What were we doing? Okay, for I in range 1 to 20, what does it want us to do? It wants us to print the square.
Print n lines, one corresponding to each I.
Okay. So it wants us to print the
Well,
square.
that's the output format. My apologies.
Gotcha. Let's see if we can do that. So the square root would be by putting two multiplication thingies in there.
Okay.
You haven't had anyone try to sell me follows yet. Oh man. We've had some crazy things happen. This is my first time too, to be honest with you, Dandy Annie. You're getting all first here. We got the first raid and the first solicitation in the live. Let me see. I feel like that N needs to be an I, but we'll pretend.
Yeah, I think you might be right, but
okay.
let's give it a whirl and a try.
Yeah, it was wrong.
Yep.
Like, go with your first mind, people.
Well, I
Please.
ran I too, and it says I is not defined.
I isn't defined.
So,
Let me check.
yeah.
Yeah, it did say that, so it should be in, and I just jacked up something, so let's fix it.
Yeah.
Let's see, put this in back. So we're starting at 121. We're printing the square of this plus 1, maybe? Because it needs to... It needs to add another number, maybe? I don't know. Let me...
1.
No. 2, that's just adding that. There's something in here. Let me see. Print I. For I in range 1 to 21, we want to print. I'm not good at loops, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, loops are hard. No, it's no doubt. Like, they take a minute to get, dude.
Let me look at range function and see.
So our output's doing a single digit.
Right, and it needs to do...
whereas we need the list to actually populate. Okay, so... Which...
Or if I change this to...
We need to square it.
What if I just change that to n? That's squaring that. That's not it. Any coders in the chat? What?
In the parentheses, do we need to put 0, 1, and 4?
No, because the inputs can be anything. Like the sample input is basically the input is the amount of numbers in the list. It's not necessarily putting in each individual number, but it looks like it's starting. Yeah, it looks like it's starting at 0, and then it's doing the square, then it's going 1, and then it's 4, and then 9, and then 16.
Right, and you're putting the end range thing too. So end range is basically, you know,
looping through
one or equal to n or equal to up to 20, but you have to put 21 because 0 is counted as a number, I think.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we're starting at 1, so I feel like I'm missing something. You're about to make me YouTube this. Let's see. What is this problem about? This is, and this that's why I was like, I need to start over from scratch, because even like looping through, wait, a list of, did I make the list though? That's a number. It shouldn't be. The first line contains the integer in. Print in lines corresponding to each I. Hello. Hello, Team Moke1234. Where do you have your range? Is it inclusive or exclusive? That's a good question. Do I need to... How long have you been coding for? I've been coding off and on for a little bit here and there. Nothing too fancy. How about you? If you have been coding. Let me see. I'm gonna check this out over here. What are your thoughts?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh. Well, we have a problem because it's only printing the first digit, I think, that we input in the range.
Right. And then
So it's just that.
they
But
made
we
a
need to
good
actually
point. We actually need to print out the list itself, and
exactly.
I don't feel like I put in the right information. Actually, okay, let me move my white spaces around because he made a good point. Oh my god, Java T-Monk is the worst.
It's complicated.
Where I'm gonna just move this around because I'm bad at these white spaces and stuff.
Yeah.
No.
See, and I've got yours exactly where mine was. Yeah.
You had it there the first time?
Yep. I've had that there. Because, like, I've always been told, like, your next line of code should, like, indent in. So, like, if I have n starting there, then I would bump it there. But it's different in Python because white space is like that, so.
True. I'm just gonna
That's
keep
what's gonna mess with me
playing
about.
around with. You know what? First of all, so I'm overcomplicating stuff because I'm like, oh, it needs to be between 1 and 20, but like that's just what the number already is going to be because this is a sample. So I did for I in range of n because n is the input and the input is already going to be between 1 and 20 because that's what the constraints are. We don't necessarily have to make the constraints. Constraints are already there for us.
Oh, because it's running off the browser. Okay.
Yeah. So they already
So
had the
now
rule.
if we were
Yeah.
wanting to do that in real life, would we do it the way we just actually did it?
Right.
Like,
If we were wanting to actually, like, if
copy.
it wasn't an input situation and we were wanting to have something in the
Okay.
range of this and that, then that's when we would do that. But
Okay.
shout out to Dandy Andy for if it was inclusive or exclusive. But I definitely was messing up on the input there because that's what the input is. So basically, if you input because I guess what I was messing up at is that even though I had mentioned it before, is that the input is not necessarily the numbers that you're inputting, it's the number and it's going to start from 0 and then print out the square of that list, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Okay.
if the number was 3, then it will do like the example here, it will go 0, 1, 4. So since their sample was 5, they're doing an output of 5 numbers. So it's 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. That's where I was confused. Reading is fundamental,
So
guys.
this is a really dumb question.
What's up?
So the reason this worked is because, like, within this tutorial, like, the browser and, like, the page, like, is it already declaring, like, what the number is? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what this is at the bottom. They already have their test cases input into this problem. We just can't see the test cases. So
Okay, so like if we went and like maybe looked at the source code somehow, like we would be able to see that. But I don't know. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Like.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, that's
like
definitely what it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was more so of like, hey, this is already in here. Why are we doing extra?
Okay. 100%. Okay.
Because we're testing against the sample test case that they already have.
Okay.
So this input is already between 1 and 20. Like it's already that. And this is all they wanted, which is why they said it was easy. So see.
Yeah. So we're overthinking it. We're actually like you would have written it the way you would have written the actual like program, like from scratch, bottom up. no like
Test cases.
IDE built into a browser to where it's like it's already kind of set up for you. Okay.
Exactly. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's like what my struggle is sometimes, especially when it comes to like doing coding exercises, because I'm like, oh, you want me to do this?
That's what I had issues with Code Academy too. Because like I would find stuff on Code Academy where I'm like, this is broken, and I'm like, oh, and it finally dawned on me, like, I'm all right. Well, this is a little misleading, but not at all. Like it is correct once you actually understand like that back-endy kind of like I don't know, like you know what I'm talking about. We
Absolutely.
just discovered and showed
How you can overthink
live
in life.
to like where exactly.
Did we confuse anybody in the chat? If so, I'm so sorry. Because I was like,
it's a good
what are we doing?
good learning experience, dude. Good learning experience.
This is
Because it
what
was throwing
happens
me off too.
when you do stuff live versus like editing videos and put it on YouTube, I guess. So we're gonna go with the if else.
What you did is exactly what I would have done too. So
Nice. Just
like,
kept playing around with it.
Well, yeah.
So let's see.
What's next? What are we doing?
We're doing Python if else. I believe this was part of the 30 days of code thing. So
okay.
this is more so of conditional. So like if this, then print that, else print this. And basically the constraints is that the number is already greater than 1 and less than 100. So we don't have to worry about that. Let me bring this up here. So at some point, what I'm going to do, which you don't necessarily have to do this, but I like to copy and paste in the thing.
That's
the pseudocode here.
No, code smarter, not harder.
That way,
that's real talk.
I don't mess this up. So good practice from what I've learned is that it's okay to pseudocode, which is something that we probably should have been doing, but I like to talk things out. But you can also put in what it is that they're asking you to do. So the task was like given the integer in, which is this right here, the input that they're giving us. They want to say that if n is even and it's in the range of 2 to 5, then we're going to print not weird. If it's even and it's in the range of 6 to 20, we're going to print weird. And if it's even and greater than 20, then we're going to print not weird. So it looks like not weird is a part of 2 of them. But we'll just make it 3 lines, even though you can probably do this whole problem in 1 line. Let's get into it. So what I'm doing is just breaking up this problem that they're asking, so that way I don't jack it up, because it's asking a lot of questions here, a lot of stuff. So I just pretty much put all my print situation down here. I like to work backwards through problems sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make sure we have all our print statements together and just make them strings. So like the not weird, the weird, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget what goes where. And
me too.
And let's see, this is another print statement. I need to find like a different like tutorial that has coding exercises that's a little more easier to understand.
Yeah.
Because HackerRank is kind of like a little complex.
It's tricky with some of these joints on the internet with the because I mean like the thing with Code Academy, which was funny, like I really liked it,
Mhm.
and like, but you would also like the programs that you were trying to solve were also broken. So like they
Mhm.
would throw in like weird like debugging issues like at the same time of you just trying to learn like simple tutorials and things like that, which I always found fascinating. Like it helps like in a weird way, like if you're really dedicated and you're like, I'm gonna figure this thing out. But then at the same time, it's kind of like, well, like this is technically broken, so you know, it's not like necessarily the best approach for like someone like just starting out from bare bones. But then at the same time, it is the best approach for somebody starting out at bare bones because you're teaching them to problem solve. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Like it's a double-edged sword.
Let me see if I remember how to do this. I wonder if I can put this not symbol. No, I can't. Okay, in order to figure out if something is even, is if you do the
Is it
module of 2, or the remainder of 2 is equal to 0. I guess I'll do the remainder of 2 is not equal to 0 and see if that works out for us in life. Alright, so the first one said if n is odd, then we're going to print weird. So I did if lowercase if n, if the remainder, if you take that number divided by 2, the remainder, if it's not 0, then it should be odd. That's what I'm putting there. This one says if, and then I gotta make sure all these ifs are in the right spot. Ooh, come back now. Let me see. Do I have to nest this? We'll just put it here for now. We'll fix that later. If it's even, if n is even, which means that it's equal to 0, and what did it say? It's in the range of 2 to 5.
for the second one? If
Yeah.
n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 and 2, 5, print not
Okay.
weird.
So n is greater than 2, and it's less than 5. I guess I gotta put this in parentheses.
2, 2, 5, yeah. Less than or equal to 5, I would
Less
think.
than equal to 5. Can I put a thing in here? This might do it, it might not, who knows, we'll figure it out later. Okay.
Yeah,
So n is greater
I
than
might be
2,
wrong with that.
less than or equal to 5. Is that what it says? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, range of 2 to 5. So I would think it would be like 2 or less than or equal to 5. Yeah.
Then it will print not weird. All these ifs are like getting on my nerves. If it's even. Because I feel like some of these are saying, like 2 of them says weird and 2 of them says not weird. And I feel like it's been a while since I did it, but we'll get into that later. We just gotta make sure these are right. And then we can try to throw this into like one line. Let me see. In the 6, in equal to 20? I know advanced people are looking at this like, what is she doing? Print. And I'm gonna fix all my ifs, you guys, so don't beat me up. If is even and print. How's everybody doing in the chat that's hanging on? I appreciate you guys. We got 11 more minutes to go, you guys. So I appreciate you. What? If n is even and n is greater than 20?
20, yeah. If n is even and greater than 20, print not weird.
Okay, and you always want to put a colon after. Alright, just off the bat, I'm pretty sure I jacked up somewhere. And the error is going to tell us where we effed up. Oh, we didn't F up too bad. Let's see.
Yeah.
Looks like
No,
we
you're
got the
good.
output of not weird, weird, not weird. The expected output is just not weird. So somewhere in the rainbow, we effed up somewhere. So let's figure it out where we effed up based off of what we have here. Let me move this out the way. Where do you feel that we need to change? It's probably, I don't have it nested right. I'm pretty sure that's one of them.
Well, I jacked something up worse than you did, so
What'd you do?
bear with me. Let me see here.
I gotta figure out a way to like do a like
It's
a
a
side by
space.
side screen share situation.
I think it might be a space.
Let me change. Oh, I also, one thing that I didn't do right.
Yeah, it's a couple spaces.
I can't do
Okay.
all these ifs. I need to do some elifs in here. That's one of the problems. Problem number 1. You can't keep doing if statements. Problem number 2. I believe this last statement needs to be an else statement because we didn't put any else statements in here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was gonna say I'm still like looking at my syntax and I'm like I've got spaces embedded in there and stuff and I'm like oops. Okay.
Because at this point, we can just do else and print what's left because it's already within 20. So that's one thing. So we got this is this.
Okay, I figured it out. I was missing a parentheses. I'm
Oh,
behind you. No, keep doing your thing. Sorry. Yeah.
you
I'm
just
just
have
trying
a.
to not look at your code and actually figure out where the bug was in mine.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're on the same page.
So let's see.
So you need to change the second statement to an else. Or is it an
elif.
else or is it an else if?
Elif. In Python, it's elif.
Okay.
It's you got if, elif, and then else. So.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
So
Yeah,
all
that's
these
totally different than mine. Okay.
all these
Yeah,
if
yeah.
statements was
Oh,
unnecessary, first and foremost. So whenever you're doing a bunch of conditionals, do not do a whole bunch of ifs. Don't do it. So we have if n is divisible by 2 and you have a remainder that's not 0, we're going to print weird. Elif, if it is even and it is greater than 2 and less than and equal to 5, we're going to print not weird. Also, if it is even and it is equal to 0, meaning that it is even, and it is greater than 6 and less than or equal to 20, then we're going to print weird. However, if it is none of those, then we're going to print not weird. And since the constraints is in there that it's between 1 and 100 already, then that just means anything over than 20 is going to be else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, dude. That's a trip. Okay.
So that way you don't
Interesting.
have to keep typing out like the same thing over and over again. But even still, and I'm going to check the editorial. I know for sure there's a one-liner with this. I'm just
Yeah.
not that great at combining everything. Like, I feel like there just has to be. There has to be one. How you doing with your code? Were you able to pass some tests?
Yeah, no, I figured it out. I was
Oh.
missing a bracket.
Oh. Bracket?
I was
Where's
like-
brackets at?
Or not a bracket, a parentheses, apologies.
Gotcha.
I was missing a parentheses, and I was like, why isn't this running? Like, the math's right, like everything's there. And then
There's
of
always
course,
like white spaces.
that one little parentheses. Yeah, and I had a
parentheses.
space. Yep. I had like a double space up on the first equation. So like if n remainder 2 is not equal to 0. I'm reading that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so you also want to end off each
With a colon.
if or elif with a colon.
Correct.
Okay.
Kind of like in, I
Okay.
know in Java for sure you want to end each conditional with a semicolon.
Copy.
So,
yeah, it's usually a semicolon,
and
like
then
the
2
very
brackets.
last bit is a bracket. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then like in between what you're trying to print out or whatever the conditional statement is, there's like brackets in the middle of it.
Okay.
But here you don't have to. What's up, Commander Therishin? Because Python is supposed to be nice. Python is nice. I like Python. I think it's nice. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I pronounced your name incorrectly. But how are you doing there? And do you code? It's like thrash. Trash. It's like trash. Oh, it's like trash. Gotcha. How long have you been coding? Commander. I guess I need to look here to talk to you instead of over there, even though my chat's over there. It's so hard. 4 years. That's what's up. What other programming languages do you program in, or do you program in?
Dude, that's rad.
In Python or other programming languages or multiple? I started with Java and it was interesting. Yeah, because like my camera's up here, and the only reason why my camera like isn't right in front of me is because I have the ring light behind it, and I have on glasses, so then I'll get this glare. But I have my chat over here on the laptop, so I'll figure that out one day.
What is that person coding?
Oh yeah, what do you code in? When I'm concentrated, I look like a serial killer.
Well, welcome to the club, bud. I think
That's hilarious.
I feel the same way about myself.
That's hilarious. That's why
It's called
I have resting bee
you
face.
know what face.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
They know C++, for example.
Oh, see?
Yes.
Yeah.
How would you code this in C++? No, I'm not going to make you do it. You're in the chat hanging out. You don't have to. Like, girl, I didn't come in here to code. Oh, they know some Python and some Go. That's
Okay,
what's
cool.
up.
Right on.
And some And a lot of gotcha.
Right on, dude.
I have never
That's
heard of
awesome.
that one. You're a professional. I'm like
Lisp
a.
is Lisp is like, oh, what is that? Isn't that Lisp is like one of like the lower level ones, right? Like it's back in like
Oh,
what are
wait a
those
minute.
called?
I didn't pass 2 test cases.
Okay. I might be thinking of something else like pre like C and all that stuff.
You're a teacher. Oh, cool.
Oh, right on, dude.
You haven't got a programming job? That's okay.
Keep
How
at it,
long have
dude.
you been teaching? You like theory? Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're also a mathematician.
Okay.
That is what's up. I love math. Love, love,
That's
love
awesome.
math. Let me change this to equal 1. Because it didn't like my not 0. Because one of my test cases didn't pass. And I'm trying to figure out why.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Lisp is it's uh it's like Fortran's successor, right?
I don't know. Let me.
I was thinking of like Perl or something like that.
Nope. But Lisp is old, he says.
Okay. Okay. I know what you're talking about. I'm just trying to like figure out the like etymology of it. Cool. You're right on, dude.
Right on. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man.
Let me change my parentheses around because I don't like how it looks anymore. So based off of nice.
Yeah, I can send it to you once you do your thing, D.
Oh, you're good. So okay. So basically the reason why my code wasn't working is because I had these commas in here. You don't need to put the commas in there. I just had to have the input or integer in there, and then it's greater than 2, less than, equal to 5. So I was trying to separate it. If I was going to do it like that, I probably needed to add extra parentheses for that, but we got it figured out here. But that's what's up. First of all, shout out to everybody who like stepped in and hung out today. Shout out to Andy for the raid. Like, I appreciate you, and I will definitely return the favor with a raid one day once I figure out how to do that. Thank you, Super Molecular, for putting in the chat the challenges for
I think that's it.
Python. Yeah, it is. It's the if else problem. But I figured
Okay.
out we got it solved. All the test cases went through. I just had to change and take out some commas and stuff like that, because white spaces and parentheses and commas and things of that nature matter in Python.
Yeah. Yes,
Let
they
me
do.
see why it's not doing my not 0 thing. Is it not going to do that, or do I have to put it to... Okay, it did that. Okay, that's fine. So I can do the not 0 too. I just didn't have my parentheses correct.
Okay.
So today, you guys, we did a little bit of beginner coding, and we both got to figure out Blue's Clues. Shout out to Super Molecular for hanging out. Shout out for everybody in the chat that stuck around and listened to me babble for a whole hour. And I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, or tried it out, or tried to manipulate it. I'm on the path to affiliate, so I'm really trying to reach that. We may have hit it today, I don't know. But once I do, I'm going to try to do different little coding exercises on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we have our game night on Saturday. and you guys can all join in. I believe we might do Jackbox games this upcoming Saturday because I did get it on the Switch. Also, the viewers, you can participate via the chat, so we'll see how that goes. It depends on what my friends want to do. So if they want to play, you guys want to play Jackbox, let me know, or we'll do Brawlhalla or Road Company or whatever. Other than that, thank you so much, you guys. Is there anything else or anything you would like to add to today? Super Molecular.
I would say keep practicing, and it's a skill that will come with time. Like, it looks daunting as can be, but it is really like solving a puzzle. Like, once you actually like get it, the cool thing about this stuff too is it's like, regardless of any programming language, like Python, this is like a lot of mathematical kind of getting you to understand syntax and stuff. But like, let's say you're doing HTML or CSS or JavaScript or front-end design. Like, front-end design, like, you can do something and like it happens immediately once you solve the problem, and that's really gratifying. It's kind of like, you know, everyone's talking about social media and everyone's stuck on their phones and like getting dopamine dumps by scrolling and stuff. Same kind of thing, like, except in this, like, you're actually like learning something new and developing a skill set. Like, it's super gratifying, and it's hard. So
Absolutely.
like, that's why I say, like, keep practicing. It's fun. It's challenging. Like, if you enjoy a challenge and you like putting together puzzle pieces, things like that, at least as a metaphor, like, I would highly encourage everyone to like try it out.
Awesome. And
So yeah,
also,
thank you, D.
thank
You
you.
gone down you learned me today. So.
Thank you for joining. We learned together. And was there something you wanted to add, Commander, in the chat? Anybody who's watching, follow me on Twitch. Hang out in the Discord. Let's kick it. Appreciate you watching. You hope you solved it right. Thanks, anyone. Oh, my bad, Commander. I forgot the links don't show up, but I'll fix that for you. If you can DM me the link that you have, then I'll be able to see it. I'm sorry, because you know sometimes people spamming with their links, so the links are blocked. But you can send it in the whisper on Twitch, and then I'll definitely look at it. So I do appreciate you taking the time out to solve it in C++. That's amazing. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Heck yeah, send it to me too if you don't mind.
Yeah, Super Molecular's in the chat as well, but I will definitely look at it. So thanks so much. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out for this long, and I hope you all. Yeah, I'm sure my sound's been ahead of the video. It's a little delay there, Joe. So it kind of happens. It might be about a good 8, 7, 10 seconds off. So, but if it's that far ahead, let me know next time. 3 seconds? Oh, 3 seconds. 3 seconds isn't that bad. Joe's like, yeah, by the way, you know, you've been kind of saying things before they happen for 3 seconds this whole time. Just want to let you know at the end. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you. Other than that, you guys, it's like I keep trying to say goodbye and I haven't left yet. So until next time, I'll be back probably tomorrow to try some things out, but for sure on Saturday, hang out with us at 8 p.m. Central Time. Joe Will's art will be streaming as well on his Twitch channel, so follow him too. And good night, everybody.
Bye.
Please tell me what happened. You was doing backbends for me. Now you overreacting. When I tell you that I got to leave. You play for my team and miss your shot. I was spotted on you. plus la nuit.